Hello guys, today I just want to talk about weeds and our thinking about or around surrounding weeds and how should we manage weeds. First of all, weeds are a good thing. I mean, should we maintain growth in our plantation that is besides our cash crop, or rather should we let our cash crop grow together with the other crops or other plants that are not part of the plan, or basically whatever you would describe as weeds. Now when you think about now regenerating, if we say as regenerative farmers, we are trying to capture as much of the sun, basically in order to feed the soil with the carbon from the atmosphere. If we need to capture as much of that carbon as we possibly can, then it goes without saying that we need as much cover of growing crops above ground. Yes, we know that we need the soil covered at all times. That is why we do a lot of mulching. But then again, but also it would be better if the cover was from living plants. So that gets us thinking, how do you do that? Or do you just let weeds grow together with your crop? I mean, will the weeds also help to capture that atmospheric carbon and put it in the soil to feed the soil biology as it is? I mean, think of a forest system. Forests being the most productive and abundant systems you can find anywhere in the world. There's whole levels of growths that are maintained. We have the understory, we have the ground covered, we have trees and shrubs growing at different levels, but the forest is able to maintain basically a lot of life more than we could say our farming systems do, and that is without our interventions. So is it really a bad thing to have growth underneath your cash crop? It requires a bit of a change or a shift in thinking, but that is a question that definitely is on my mind. Normally, I think with what we've been brought up with in agriculture or in farming is that weeds are a no-no. You cannot tolerate or entertain any form of weeds in your crop. Are they really such a bad idea? I don't know. What do you think? Leave a comment below. Tell me what you think. If you've come across any material or idea or practicing regenerative farming, how do you handle weeds? Or what would you define also as weeds? I know you can have vegetation that is intentionally planted together with the cash crop. Sometimes we have growth that basically has been covered, that just grows naturally. Some grasses, some grasses can be really obnoxious and intrusive. Would they really support in feeding our crops, or would they be competition for the crop? That is something that we need to think about and explore further. Yeah, definitely something to think about. Having said that, this is another trip to the farm. Just checking out on the capsicum. Some good progress. We've had some good rains in the past few days. Maybe if I can just show you the development. You can see a bit from a previous update a couple of days ago. I think we have some good development, a bit of a good growth. So what actually I've decided with this place is that we'll no longer be pulling out any growth. Just want to watch and see how it does. Maybe we've not had some very good experience with the Bermuda grass in the past, so I think we'll not let Bermuda grass grow, but anything else, the wandering Jews, and just to see, and maybe try to have something else going in between the crops. Maybe get some flowers, Mexican marigold maybe, and just plant them, let them grow together with the capsicum, and we'll make that observation. That was also the intention that I had for this area, but I've just come and found that the farm assistant decided that he doesn't really like seeing weed growing, so he decided to give it another weeding, which I'd advised against. I think I really need to sit him down and talk to him about what you're trying to do here. I think what we normally have is we have such a mechanical mindset that we are always trying to see that we are growing crops on something that, or a surface that is very clean. Now leaving the soils bare and exposed, so there's a lot of oxidation here. We have a lot of carbon escaping while we are trying to capture that carbon and sink it and maintaining it. Basically to make sure that we are growing our undersoil community or soil microbes as much as possible. And so yeah, as I pointed out, the thinking really is what would prove to be a big challenge. Getting it for people to conceptualize and accept in their mind that what we need is to capture carbon, put it in the soil, and through if we are then doing a lot of digging, it kind of negates that point. We will not be achieving that goal. Yeah, so there's this part that is really grown. So this would be the next area we'd be moving to. The plan is to just slash this growth down. We can then inoculate it. After slashing, we can do a spray of effective microorganisms that we've cultured, just to speed up the process of decomposition of all this material. I would guess because of prior tillage, the soil underneath is probably, there has to be a compaction layer somewhere at some point. That's something also to think about. Yeah, so basically, I think in our next update, we will be taking you through that. The slushing, the spraying. If we are able to get some paper, the plastic to cover, then we'll use that. If not, we'll just leave it as it is. Also, not a lot of mulching material available at the moment, but will be soon as people from around start harvesting their maize. So I think then we'll have a lot of material to work with. So I think about it, let's have the discussion about weeds. What do you think? I know most of us, as I said, pointed out, the thinking around weeds is that we need to kill weeds. We need to kill weeds. Weeds are competition for cash crop. So we cannot tolerate weeds. But that is not what regenerative practice recommends. So let me know what you think. Let's have a discussion. We'll have a trial plot as well here so that we can go through and observe how that does. So yeah, basically that. Just wanted to talk about weeds. I'd like to urge you, if you're first time here or you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. You can like the video if you like the material. You can share it with friends and family. Let us get this conversation around regenerative agriculture going. Let us share ideas. As I continually point out, we are learning. We're on a learning journey that we can take together. So until the next update, thank you very much and keep safe.